So I put the PDF again. The reason why I wanted to bring this up, here are some of the important parts. What they tried doing is they tried studying, they wanted to study the effects of breathing through your nose, right? And comparing it to breathing through your mouth. They found that mouth breathing activated the parasympathetic nervous system. So that's one aspect of breathing. That's why we do breath work, is because it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So it causes that rest and digest. Many of us, when we're stressed, freaking out, concerned about what other people think about us, et cetera, are in a sympathetic. So that's that stress response. And so we need to do exercises that help balance that. And so that's the parasympathetic response. And breathing is one of them. But what they noticed is that there is an increased, there's sort of an enhanced process that occurs in the brain when we breathe through our nose. They were trying to figure what that was. And the number of connections that came through the nose to the brain, and how the activation of the olfactory bulb, which is literally, it looks like a bulb, like a green onion, like the end of the green onion that goes like a bulb, little bulb, right? Imagine like a bulb back from here. And when you smell something like cinnamon or something like that, the molecules from the cinnamon go up and they attach onto that bulb, and you can tell whether or not it's cinnamon or chocolate or vanilla or bad body odor or whatever you want to smell. So you have this olfactory bulb, and every time we inhale, we're actually activating the olfactory bulb, and the olfactory bulb goes to different areas of the brain. And what they found is that by breathing, slow breathing, can actually induce non-ordinary states of consciousness. So using your breath, you can actually affect your state of consciousness. How frequently, how cool is that? Imagine this. We have recently highlighted in a systematic review on slow breathing techniques that slow nasal breathing induces an improvement of psychological well-being with increased relaxation and reduced anxious and depressive symptoms, sustained by a parasympathetic dominance, right? Increased relaxation, reduced anxiety and depression. They tested 12 healthy volunteers. 9 females participated in the study. The average age was 48 years old. Slow nasal breathing. Our average breathing is anywhere between 12 to 18 breaths a minute. Some even faster. 6 breaths a minute. They've actually done studies that showed enhanced cognitive connections. So the ability of the brain to connect to other parts of the brain. So more communication with other parts of the brain at 6 breaths a minute. That is equivalent to 5 seconds inhale and 5 second exhale. All right, so that's 6 breaths a minute. 6 breaths a minute. They had people who are experienced meditators, and they took the breath down to 2.5 breaths a minute. 2.5 breaths a minute. So their respiratory cycle was 4 consecutive phases. 6 seconds in, 6-second pause, 6 seconds out, 6-second pause. So just for the fun of it, what we're gonna try 3 cycles of that. Okay, I know you can, even if you feel like you're running out of breath, you can do it for 3 cycles. I know you can. All right, so I'm gonna say, all right, so it's gonna be in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause 2, right? For 15 minutes. All right, so take a deep breath and let's get ready. All right, so take another deep breath and exhale and in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and breathe regular. How was that? That was a minute and 10 seconds of 2.5 breaths a minute. Did it feel strange? Were you able to do it? Was it 2? Did you feel like you were holding your breath? Right, that's what they looked at. What they found was that after the slow nasal breathing was accompanied by an increase of positive experienced emotion, positive affect, just by breathing. As compared to baseline. Among the positive affect subdimensions were observed a heightened feeling of joy. The participants reported a heightened perception of being in an altered state of consciousness, characterized by altered awareness, including an alteration in the perception of the body, an unusual meaning attributed to the experience, an altered perception of the flow of time, And the slow nasal breathing was associated with a lower physical and psychological tension as compared to baseline and post mouth breathing. Wow, that's kind of neat. An altered perception of time, an alteration of the perception of the body, a heightened feeling of joy, less physical and psychological tension. Who wouldn't want that? Increased self-awareness, decreased internal dialogue, and what they attribute this to, all right, here's the neat part, is that they attribute it to what they call a slow-paced stimulation of the olfactory bulb. A slow-paced stimulation of the olfactory bulb through the breath. And if you look at the study, you'll see post breathing, there's more connections of the brain between different areas of the brain. They actually show changes in different wavelengths of the brain, theta and delta, et cetera, et cetera. That there's actually something that's happening by slowly pulsating the olfactory bulb with our breathing. We are able to create this sense of joy, create these altered senses of perception, time, and body, decreasing physical and psychological tension. That's kind of neat, right? I continue to bring these studies up because you're going to see, if you follow this research for a while, you're going to see this breathwork research really explode. And the mechanism behind it are going to be, it's going to be something involving, vibrations, frequencies, things like that. Like there is an optimal resonance frequency that we can live in, that we can vibrate at, let's say. And maybe with our heartbeat and the resonance of our heartbeat, and in training our heartbeat with our breathing, we're actually creating, it's like our body can be like a resonance chamber for all the cells that live in it. Imagine that. And that the words we speak, what we hum, sing, etc., is essentially creating like its own concert hall. Your body's like a concert hall with your heart rate boom, 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 going up and down with your breath. And all your cells are paying attention. All your cells are paying attention simultaneously to these movements, to the movement of the heart, to the movement of the blood, to the pulsations of the blood, to the breathing of to the breath, to the expansion and contraction of the lungs, to the movement of the diaphragm, to the resonance in the olfactory bulb and the effect on our brain. Right? It's all connected. So imagine, right? Just think to yourself, what can I do to create resonance in my system Well, I'm stressing about this, that I can't control. And that's causing, just that thought is causing me to tense. So what if I try to breathe and try to bring balance to that? And try to breathe at 3 breaths a minute. A breath, a breath every 7.5 seconds. Or an in breath for 7 seconds, an out breath for 7 seconds. Okay. So again, it's fairly powerful, in my opinion, that we can change our breath, that we can consciously change our breath and affect our level of consciousness and affect our psychological state and induce a state of joy just by using your breath. It's not that you have to think about anything joyful. This is not positive psychology. This is just breathing. Slowing down your breath, breathing, decreasing tension naturally through your breath, inducing a state of joy, an altered sense of time, an altered perception of the body. That's it. All right, so let's go into our practice. All right, so let's find a comfortable posture. A posture we feel relaxed yet alert. Closing your eyes if you feel comfortable closing your eyes. If not, having a soft downward gaze, as if you're looking off onto the horizon. Bringing your attention to your breath. You're just noting the rhythm of your breath right now. How quickly or slowly are you breathing? Do you feel any resistance in the in-breath or the out-breath? And taking 2 deep breaths and noting the sensation of the breath, where you feel the breath the most. As you breathing in and out, where do you feel the breath the most, that you know you are breathing? Is it at your upper lip or your nostrils, feeling the air move through your nostrils? Is it in your upper chest, noticing your chest expanding? Is it in your belly, rising and falling? Is it in your whole body? Or do you not really notice the breath at all? And that's perfectly fine. Pay attention to the sensation of the breath as it comes and goes, where you notice it the most as you breathe regularly. What is the sensation that you feel in your body that is absolutely certain that you are breathing? That you can tell yourself, I am breathing. I am breathing. And with each breath as it comes in, there's an acceptance of the present moment. There's an acceptance of the breath, allowing the breath to come in, doing exactly what it needs to do, pausing and exhaling, and letting go of the breath for a new cycle to come. In breath, I know I am breathing in. Out breath, I know I am breathing out. In breath, I know I am breathing in. Out breath, I know I am breathing out. And continuing to pay attention to the sensation of the breath, where you feel it the most, and see if you can slow down your breath as much as possible. Slow down your breath as much as possible as your attention is focused on the sensation of the breath where you feel it the most in your body. And as your mind wanders, coming back to the sensation of your breath in the body. Sensation of the breath, breathing in. I know I am breathing in. Breathing out. I know I am breathing out. The breath is the present moment. This breath is the present moment. And just noting what your breath rhythm is now. Where is your natural pause between breaths? Is it after the inhale? Is it after the exhale? Is it both? Or do you not have any pause? There's no right or wrong, simply what is true for you. Do you notice a natural rhythm that you fall into that feels comforting for you? Do you notice a pause anywhere in your breath? And now taking 2 or 3 deep breaths. And really noting how you may integrate any type of breath practice into your day, paying attention to your breath, slowing your breath down, whatever it might be. And now opening your eyes if your eyes were closed. Feeling your feet on the floor. And just reflecting on your practice today. All right. With that, then we will close.